too. What's your best advice for a manager who does find themselves caught in that middle? They want to do better. They really want to help their people, but they're really finding that they're struggling themselves to be able to support the people the way they need to be supported.
So first things is actually, I'm going to be honest that the whole trauma-led leadership thing makes me a bit cross. Um, I'm just going to be really honest on this because ultimately that is not the job of a leader to deal with trauma, a therapist. And the reason that I trained as a therapist as well as a coach was that I was already a coach and realized that there was more stuff that my clients needed that I didn't know how to do. And so it was only doing my own therapy and coming across therapy that I thought, hang on a minute, this is what they need. They don't actually, most people, I don't think really need coaching. I think they need therapy and then they need coaching on top. Coaching is like the icing on the cake, but you need the cake. So to then say to senior managers who might not have any interest in therapeutic practice, we can have empathy and we need that, obviously. You're going to have to deal with the fact that some of your workforce have been quite emotionally traumatized over the pandemic. And they might not even know themselves that they're carrying trauma about it. You're asking them to do is effectively to be a trained therapist. And again, that is a job that you sit down with someone, you take some time with them. It's not the job of a leader. So for me, the job of a leader is to have compassion, care, empathy, those things that we need on a day-to-day basis, and to know when to refer on. So I have a real issue with businesses expecting their senior management and their middle management to become therapists overnight, when actually what they should be doing is that should be a new role in the company, that there is somebody who supports everybody. So that's my first thing on that.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. And I know I've read your post before where you really advocate for people to be properly trained if they're going to even approach anything relating to therapy.
I think it's one of those things where, in the work that I do, I can have somebody come in and talk to me about imposter syndrome. And actually, imposter syndrome quite often goes back to a childhood event. So it can go back to something if someone said to them when they're 4 or 5. And what happens is, as I would have done before training, we go, imposter syndrome. And we try and tell people that they're as good as everyone else. They don't need to worry. And actually, this is something that's deeply embedded in childhood. So you're actually wasting time, but also possibly making that person feel worse because you're kind of telling them not to feel something that they automatically feel. From my point of view, we can't just go in, and even coaching can't always just go in and go, I'm going to come in and bring you this lovely coaching methodology, because for some people, you need to really dig down